Next thing I want to talk about is a very important issue. I think, personally, it ranks up there with the whole smoking issue on campus. Definitely ranks higher than the parking issue on campus. And that is how people roam the hallways at this campus. And I'm talking really basically about anybody who is anywhere from the age of 18 to about 25. Maybe a little bit lower than that, but so young kids that are just starting out here. And that is hallway etiquette, do's and don'ts. That's what I want to talk about because I've seen it again today. I've seen it for a while now. In fact, I'm going to read a blog entry that I posted on this very issue from September 24th, 2008, almost a year ago. Just 6 days shy of being a year ago that this happened. So it's clearly an issue, and that's people walking and texting at the same time. Okay? And you can't do it. You can't walk and text at the same time. Somebody's going to get hurt one of these days, and it's going to be bad. So here's the blog entry, and then I'm going to talk for a little bit. This is from Wednesday, September 24th, 2008. The title of my blog entry is Hallway Etiquette, Do's and Don'ts. A friend and colleague of mine at the paper mentioned to me how he had an unfortunate hallway collision with a female who was texting while walking the hallway. It inspired me to write this post, for you see I witness stuff like this every day roaming the halls at the college. What has happened to etiquette? Did it go out the window with the arrival of rollover minutes and nights and weekends? So I, Cameron Fletcher, in all my wisdom, will now offer my tips on hallway etiquette. First of all, for centuries, mankind has gotten along on the principle that you walk on the right side and allow people to pass the opposite direction on the left. It's a simple process that allows for the seamless flow of humanity. Which brings me to the first tip. Tip number 1. Do not walk on the left side of the hallway. We are not in Great Britain, folks. Walk on the right. Don't get an angry look on your face when I make no effort to get out of your way, since you are in fact on my side of the hallway. Walk on the right. It makes things easier. Another thing I notice is people like to mingle right at crucial intersections of multiple hallways and talk about whatever is on their mind, which leads me to my next pointer. Tip number 2. Do not loiter in the middle of a busy intersection. There actually are people on a time crunch who are trying to get to their next class or appointment. If you must chat, make use of the seating areas around campus. They are there for a reason. Use them. By mingling and loitering in the middle of congested traffic ways and intersections just proves that you are only thinking of yourself and are too asinine to realize it. Get out of the hallway. The other thing that I don't understand is people's naive nature when it comes to the laws that govern elevator etiquette. Moving on to the next tip. Tip number 3. When waiting for the elevator, don't stand right in the doorway. Stand off to the side. It was the way I was taught and should be common knowledge. By standing off to the side, it allows anyone on the elevator that needs to get off the room to get off said elevator. As soon as all people who need to get off are off, enter said elevator. It is common courtesy. Yet I still encounter, daily I might add, people standing right in my way as I attempt to get off the elevator. As I nearly take them down like a linebacker going after the quarterback, they have the marbles to flippantly say, "Excuse me," to which I reply, well, I never reply, actually. I don't know who is to blame for all of this, the parents of these kids that apparently aren't teaching their kids how to act, or the young people of this generation who, despite a lack of direction from authority, still don't have enough common sense to know the difference between right and wrong, courteous and non-courteous, or the way things are done. My gut tells me it's a little bit of both. My only warning is beware crazy text messaging, left side walking, elevator door huggers. The next person you may run into, literally, is me. What I want to talk about now is that the big issue here that I have with people walking and texting at the same time is if they're not looking where they're going, I mean, somebody could get hurt. That's what I'm afraid of. Somebody, I just know, the end that I see from all of this is somebody going to be walking along in the hallway right near a stairwell, and they're going to be walking and texting. They're not looking where they're going. And another person who's walking and texting at the same time also isn't looking where they're going. They bump into each other, and one of them, or maybe both of them, fall down the stairs and die. I could totally see that happening. It would not surprise me. I'm almost not expecting it to happen, but, it's bound to happen. I mean, that's just the way it is. So, my thing is here, don't walk and text at the same time. If you need to text, find a place to sit down, or, stop walking, look around, find a good place to text. You can stand to text at the same time, just don't be walking. Just stop, maybe by a trash can or something, someplace where people would have to move around you anyway, and text. But don't walk and text at the same time. Do you not have enough time to just stop for a second and send a text message? And, I just see these people, and they're just so in their world. They're not experiencing the world around them. They're in their world. They're tweeting. They're texting. They're checking their Facebook. They're doing whatever, and they're missing and so much. Don't get me wrong. I love Facebook. I love texting. I love it, but it has its time and it has its place. So I just see a situation where somebody's going to die or get seriously hurt, maybe paralyzed from this. It needs to stop. And I don't know what can be done. I don't know if some legislation could be passed by the board that would ban walking and texting at the same time on campus grounds. I don't know if there's anything they could do or how you would even enforce that. It would be very difficult to enforce. No walking and texting within 35 feet of the entranceway. But, I just wonder if there's anything that can be done about it, because it's a safety issue in my mind. It's not even etiquette. That blog entry I read was about etiquette, but, I see somebody getting hurt from this, and that, to me, is more scary than anything. And, you also read stories, you see it out there, like people, there was a tow truck driver, I can't remember where, but he crashed his tow truck while texting. So people drive and text, they walk and text, they talk on the phone and text. There's going to be accident. A lot of stuff could happen, and it's scary to me. So something needs to be done. But like I said, it's hard to regulate. I don't have a solution, but I just notice a problem, and it needs to be fixed.